What truly happens after death? Is it a sudden end, or just the beginning of something we can't yet see? In the ancient texts of India, particularly the Garuda Purana, death isn't described as a void. It's a process, a journey, one governed by law, not of courts, but of karma. Every thought, every deed, accounted for. This isn't mythology. It's a map. A detailed account of what the soul experiences after leaving the body. Today, we follow that map through what the Garuda Purana calls the 28 gates of the afterlife. In the Garuda Purana, it is said that the soul does not instantly leave this world. It hovers, observes, lingers. For 13 days, the subtle body, Sukshma Sharira, remains close to its physical remains. It sees its loved ones grieve. It experiences confusion. Until slowly, it is drawn away. By the 17th day, the journey begins. Led by divine messengers, called Yama, the soul travels a path of 47 days toward a divine court, known as Yama. Here the soul faces its own karmic history. But this is not judgment in the way we think. This is reflection. The soul is shown its own actions, its own choices. And based on those vibrations, its next destination is decided. These destinations are called Narakas, not permanent hells, but temporary realms, each designed to reflect and purify a specific kind of karmic residue. The Garuda Purana lists 28 of these realms, each one symbolic and specific to certain kinds of actions. Let's walk through them, calmly, but truthfully. Before we step through the 28 gates of the afterlife, there's something we must understand. Time. Because in Naraka, time doesn't move like it does here. The ancient seers didn't measure punishment in minutes. They measured it in awareness, in intensity, in consequence. But still, there was a system. In the Garuda Purana, punishment begins with the smallest unit of time known as a Yama. 1 Yama, 6 hours of earth time. That's the shortest period a soul might be subjected to any form of suffering or transition. Some torments last for 2 Yamas, others 8, even 30 Yamas. That's nearly a week in human hours, but every moment is felt amplified. Then comes the day-night cycle in Naraka, composed of 4 Yamas or 24 hours, just like ours. But the experience? Incomparable. For heavier karmas, the Puranas speak of months and years. But here's the twist. In the realm of the ancestors, 1 day is equal to 1 earth year. So when the soul is trapped in Naraka, what seems like a single night there might be 365 days here. In deeper realms, the punishment isn't just time, it's density. Consciousness is slowed. Every second stretches. Imagine pain that lasts 100 earth years or more. But even these numbers, they're symbolic. Because in Naraka, you don't count time by clocks. You count it by regret. And the longer it takes the soul to awaken from its karmic fog, the longer it remains, stuck in that gate. Gate 1. Tamisra. For those who robbed others of their rightful possessions, the soul experiences extreme darkness and confusion. Gate 2. Andhatamisra. For those who deceived or cheated their own family, It is a realm of suffocating ignorance. Gate 3, Rauorava, for those who caused pain to others. Here the soul is tormented by serpents born of their own deeds. Gate 4, Maharaorava, for those who exploited or consumed others unjustly. The soul is chased by Kravyada, beings born from greed. Gate 5, Kumbhipaka, reserved for those who cooked animals alive symbolically. The soul is placed in boiling oil. Gate 6, Kalasutra, for liars and corrupt beings. The ground burns like hot metal. Gate 7, Asipatravana, for those who mocked sacred knowledge. The soul is dragged through a forest of sharp leaves. Gate 8, Shukaramuka, for those who acted arrogantly or with violence. Gate 9, Andhakupa, for the cruel and selfish. The soul is trapped in a well surrounded by beasts. Gate 10, Krimipojana, for those who denied others food or life. The soul must feed on worms, symbolic of reversal. Gate 11, Sandamsa, for those who forged or manipulated documents or truths. Gate 12, Tapta Surmi, for adulterers or those who betrayed trust. Gate 13, Vajrakantaka Shalmali, for those who lived with extreme lust and deceit. Gate 14, Vaitarani, a river of blood and filth which the soul must cross, for those who exploited others. Gate 15, Puyoda, a lake of pus, for those who were unclean in thought or action. Gate 16, Pranarodha, for those who suppressed truth or life through power. Gate 17, Visashana, for those who looted, particularly during crises. Gate 18, Lalabhaksha, for gluttons and those obsessed with sense pleasures. Gate 19, Saramayadana, for thieves and violent criminals. Gate 20, Avicii, for the worst of the worst, cold, empty, and endless suffering. Gate 21, Ayapana, for those who abused power through substances or control. Gate 22, Gazarakardama, a hell of acid and mud for polluters and defilers. Gate 23, Raksogana Pojana, for cannibalistic or extreme sadistic behavior. Gate 24, Shulaprota, for those who misled spiritual seekers. Gate 25, Dandasuka, for those who ruled with tyranny. Gate 26, Avata Nirodhana, for those who obstructed others from the path of truth. Gate 27, Paryavartana, for selfish teachers who corrupted knowledge. Gate 28, Susimukha, for misers and those who hoarded wealth without giving. This may seem disturbing, but here's what makes it unique and relevant to everyone, even skeptics. These realms are not permanent. They are not eternal punishments. They are vibrational realms of consequence, just like we face consequences on Earth. In modern psychology, when someone repeats harmful patterns, they often fall into cycles of depression, anxiety, or dysfunction. The Narakas reflect this idea. Consequences shaped by tendencies. In quantum physics, information cannot be destroyed. In karmic theory, no action is forgotten. What we do echoes. Each realm is an opportunity to burn karma, to purify, and eventually, to move forward. This isn't religion, it's a roadmap. One that was drawn thousands of years ago, to help us walk a little more carefully, a little more mindfully, on this strange, beautiful journey called life.